Human affection is rarely simple, for the human psyche is composed of layers that are often contradictory, yet deeply interconnected. To consider that two souls might love a single individual is not merely a poetic notion, but a reflection of the mind's capacity to experience overlapping bonds, each carrying its own distinct influence. One soul may embody familiarity, offering stability, comfort, and a sense of belonging that feels like a return to home. This form of love is quiet, consistent, and often aligns with our conscious ideals, resonating with values we have accepted and patterns we have cultivated over time. It reassures us, mirrors our strengths, and provides a predictable environment where affection can be safely expressed and received. This soul becomes a reflection of our conscious desires, one that affirms the self we know and accept, and in doing so, it strengthens our sense of identity and security within the relational world. Yet, alongside this familiar affection, there may exist another soul whose love is different, whose presence provokes curiosity, emotional intensity, or even unease. This second connection engages aspects of the psyche that are less familiar, drawing from the unconscious and the hidden layers of emotion. It challenges, unsettles, and invites reflection upon dimensions of self that are often neglected or repressed. Unlike the first, this love is not about comfort or familiarity, but about awakening a deeper awareness within. It may stir unresolved fears, forgotten longings, or unacknowledged desires, not for the sake of gratification, but as a mirror reflecting parts of the psyche that demand recognition. This duality of love highlights a fundamental truth. Human attachment is rarely singular or linear, but instead layered, dynamic, and often paradoxical. One connection may stabilize, the other may provoke, and together they reveal the extraordinary complexity of relational life. Recognizing this duality allows for a profound insight into the nature of love itself. Love is not merely an emotional response or a social ritual. It is a psychological experience that reflects both the known and the unknown within ourselves. The first soul may show us the self we have cultivated, while the second exposes the self we have yet to fully understand. Each soul, in its own way, contributes to our growth, self-awareness, and psychological integration. The experience of being loved in two distinct ways illuminates the interplay between consciousness and the unconscious, security and exploration, familiarity and mystery. To navigate such a duality is to engage in a subtle form of self-discovery, wherein the recognition of both affections provides a pathway to understanding the intricate architecture of the human heart and mind. Through this lens, love is revealed not merely as a feeling, but as an instrument of insight, shaping and reflecting the entirety of the inner world, offering both comfort and challenge in equal measure, and inviting the individual to embrace the full spectrum of relational and emotional reality. When love carries a hidden truth, it introduces an undercurrent of tension that quietly permeates perception and expectation. A secret is not simply a concealed fact. It is a force that shapes behavior, emotions, and interactions without overt awareness. The soul that harbors a secret may do so out of fear, shame, or the belief that revelation might harm the beloved or disrupt the delicate balance of connection. This concealment is often unconscious, emerging from deep psychological layers where morality, vulnerability, and self-preservation intersect. The presence of a secret transforms love from a straightforward exchange of affection into a complex psychological landscape. One is no longer simply receiving love or offering it freely, but navigating the shadowed dimensions of human intention, the unspoken words, and the subtle signs that hint at truths yet unrevealed. Recognizing this dynamic calls for introspection, heightened awareness, and an acceptance of ambiguity as a natural part of intimate connection. The shocking nature of a secret lies in its capacity to redefine the relationship once disclosed. What appears familiar, safe, and emotionally coherent may suddenly feel fragile, uncertain, or entirely different in meaning. This revelation acts as a mirror, reflecting not only the hidden aspects of the other soul, but also the unseen corners of one's own psyche. When confronted with a secret, the beloved is compelled to confront trust, vulnerability, and the complexities of moral judgment. The emotional response may range from shock to curiosity, confusion, or even grief, yet beneath the surface, there exists a profound opportunity for psychological growth. The shock itself is a signal, a subtle prompt for reflection on what is truly known, what is projected, and how much of one's attachment is shaped by perception rather than reality. In this way, a secret, while destabilizing, also functions as a tool of awareness, compelling the individual to navigate relational truth with both clarity and empathy. Engaging with a secret requires discernment and courage, for it tests not only the capacity to understand another, but also the ability to integrate complexity within the self. The hidden truth often intersects with the unconscious, bringing to light fears, desires, or vulnerabilities that have long been unacknowledged. It demands a conscious effort to distinguish between reaction and reflection, between judgment and understanding. In this process, the individual learns that love is not merely a space of comfort or certainty, but a domain of challenge, discovery, and transformation. The secret's revelation can redefine boundaries, clarify values, and illuminate the depth of connection possible when honesty, insight, and compassion intersect. Ultimately, the nature of a shocking secret is a testament to the intricate interplay between concealment and disclosure, fear and trust, and between the known self and the unknowable dimensions of another, offering an invitation to embrace both love and truth in their full, sometimes unsettling complexity. Love is a profound mirror through which the self can be observed in ways that are often inaccessible through solitary reflection. When two souls are involved in love, the beloved becomes not merely a partner or companion, but a reflective surface, highlighting both strengths and vulnerabilities. The first soul may resonate with the conscious self, affirming the traits, values, and behaviors that one has cultivated and accepted. This resonance provides reassurance and stability, making one feel recognized and understood within familiar patterns. It validates personal choices and emotional habits, creating a space where the individual can feel grounded and secure. Yet, while comforting, this reflection is partial, revealing only the aspects of self that are already known and integrated into conscious identity, leaving much of the hidden, unexamined, or repressed self unexplored. In contrast, the second soul, particularly one that carries a hidden truth, engages with dimensions of the psyche that remain obscured or neglected. This connection often evokes subtle discomfort, curiosity, or fascination, prompting introspection and self-examination. The hidden or unconscious aspects of one's psyche, fears, unresolved conflicts, suppressed emotions, and latent potentials, are illuminated through the interaction with this soul. The dynamic challenges the individual to confront parts of the self that have been ignored or denied, revealing the interplay between projection and perception, between what is assumed and what is real. Love, in this sense, functions as a catalyst for psychological insight, offering the opportunity to reconcile inner contradictions and gain clarity about personal motivations, emotional patterns, and relational tendencies. Through the recognition of these dual reflections, the individual embarks on a journey of self-discovery, discovering the true self not as a fixed identity, but as an evolving, multifaceted constellation of conscious and unconscious traits. The presence of two loving souls encourages integration, prompting the individual to acknowledge shadow aspects without judgment, to discern between superficial attachment and authentic connection, and to cultivate awareness of how love interacts with the broader psyche. By observing how each soul influences perception, desire, and emotion, the individual begins to appreciate the depth of relational experience as a pathway to self-understanding. Ultimately, love in this dual context becomes more than an exchange of affection. It is a profound instrument of growth, revealing the complexity of human experience, the richness of the inner world, and the opportunity to harmonize the conscious and unconscious aspects of the self, moving toward greater psychological wholeness, authenticity, and insight. Every human being carries within themselves a shadow, the hidden aspects of personality, impulses, fears, and desires that are often repressed or denied. When one soul harbors a secret in the context of love, this secret often represents a shadow element projected outward. The hidden truth may reveal traits, motives, or vulnerabilities that are unfamiliar, unsettling, or even dissonant with the conscious understanding of the beloved. Encountering such a hidden dimension is psychologically challenging, as it disrupts expectations of transparency and predictability in a relationship. Yet it also provides an opportunity for profound insight, inviting the individual to recognize not only the concealed aspects of another, but also the latent shadows within themselves. This interplay between hidden motives and conscious perception illustrates the depth and complexity of relational dynamics, emphasizing that love is not merely a comfortable or harmonious experience, but a reflection of the multifaceted inner world of both participants. The presence of a secret challenges the beloved to confront personal vulnerabilities and unresolved emotional patterns. Often, the initial reaction to discovery is discomfort, confusion, or even resistance. Yet beneath these responses lies an invitation to engage with the unconscious mind. The secret functions as a psychological catalyst, illuminating areas where one's own fears, insecurities, or unexamined assumptions intersect with the realities of another's inner life. By confronting the shadow within the hidden motives of the other, the individual is encouraged to examine how projection, expectation, and judgment have shaped their perception of love and trust. This process demands patience, reflection, and a willingness to tolerate ambiguity, highlighting that the path to authentic understanding is rarely straightforward or unchallenging. Embracing the shadow element within hidden motives transforms the experience of love from mere attachment to a journey of self-awareness and integration. It fosters empathy, discernment, and the capacity to hold complex truths simultaneously, acknowledging the imperfection of both self and other, while recognizing the potential for growth and transformation. The revelation of a secret may temporarily destabilize emotions, yet it also provides clarity, guiding the individual toward a deeper comprehension of relational authenticity. In this way, the shadow is not to be feared or rejected, but understood and integrated. Love, when engaged in this reflective manner, becomes an instrument for psychological maturation, revealing that every concealed aspect, every hidden motive, and every secret contains within it the potential to illuminate, challenge, and ultimately expand one's understanding of both self and other, moving toward wholeness, awareness, and relational depth. The presence of two loving souls generates an internal tension that mirrors the complexity of the human psyche. One soul may appeal to intuition, resonating with emotions, empathy, and an almost instinctual sense of connection, while the other aligns more closely with rational thought, practicality, and conscious reasoning. This duality often leads to a subtle conflict within the individual, where the heart feels drawn toward one course, yet the mind rationalizes attachment to another. Such tension is neither accidental nor trivial. It reflects the intricate dynamics between conscious judgment and unconscious perception, between what is known and what is intuited. Navigating this interplay requires careful attention, for it forces the individual to confront questions of authenticity, desire, and the true nature of affection, compelling a reconciliation between emotional resonance and logical assessment. Intuition is a deep, often inexplicable knowing that arises from the unconscious, integrating experiences, emotions, and insights beyond immediate reasoning. When one soul evokes this response, it draws attention to dimensions of connection that may defy logic, yet feel profoundly real. Rationalization, on the other hand, seeks coherence, security, and alignment with known patterns of thought, often prioritizing practicality or societal expectations over the subtle signals of the unconscious. The conflict emerges when these two forces pull in different directions, challenging the individual to discern the true nature of attachment and to evaluate whether love is grounded in authentic resonance or in comfort and familiarity. This struggle is a crucial aspect of psychological growth, as it develops discernment, encourages self-reflection, and highlights the need to balance emotion with reason in understanding relational dynamics. Ultimately, the resolution of this internal tension does not require choosing one over the other, but learning to integrate both intuition and rationalization into a coherent understanding of self and other. By acknowledging the subtle guidance of the unconscious while also considering conscious reasoning, the individual gains clarity about motivations, desires, and potential consequences. The conflict between intuition and rationalization thus becomes a teacher, illustrating that love is both an emotional experience and a cognitive journey, a dialogue between instinct and intellect. Through this integration, one cultivates the capacity to navigate relationships with awareness, empathy, and wisdom, understanding that the heart and mind are complementary rather than opposing forces. This awareness enables an individual to approach love not simply as a pursuit of satisfaction or comfort, but as a dynamic interplay of insight, reflection, and authentic connection, ultimately deepening both personal understanding and relational maturity. The disclosure of a hidden truth within a loving relationship is a moment of profound transformation, not merely an event of shock or surprise. When one soul carries a secret, the eventual revelation interrupts familiar patterns of thought and emotion, compelling the beloved to confront realities that may have previously been obscured. This disruption, though initially disorienting, is essential for psychological and emotional growth. It illuminates the layers of attachment, the expectations placed upon the relationship, and the boundaries that define trust and intimacy. By facing the secret, the individual is challenged to reconcile idealized perceptions of love with the complex, often imperfect reality of human intentions. This process fosters a deeper understanding of both the self and the other, revealing that transformation often arises not from comfort or stability, but from the confrontation with truth. The initial shock of revelation may evoke fear, doubt, or even grief as the familiar sense of security is unsettled. Yet beneath this response lies an invitation to reflection and conscious engagement. The individual is prompted to examine personal values, emotional needs, and relational patterns, discerning what is essential and what may have been illusory. The hidden truth acts as a mirror, reflecting unacknowledged fears, projections, or vulnerabilities within the self. By engaging with the revelation rather than avoiding it, the individual cultivates resilience, self-awareness, and the ability to process complex emotional experiences. This engagement transforms what may initially seem destabilizing into a catalyst for deeper insight, illustrating that challenges in love often serve as opportunities for profound inner development and the refinement of relational wisdom. Transformation through revelation also involves the integration of new understanding into the ongoing experience of life and love. Accepting and assimilating the truth of a secret requires the individual to balance discernment with compassion, judgment with empathy, and reflection with action. Through this process, the perception of the relationship is recalibrated, boundaries are clarified, and the capacity for authentic connection is expanded. The secret, once revealed, ceases to function solely as a source of tension. It becomes a vehicle for insight, guiding the individual toward greater self-knowledge and relational maturity. In this light, love is revealed not as a static state of emotional comfort but as a dynamic force of transformation, capable of illuminating hidden dimensions of both self and other. By embracing revelation consciously, the individual experiences the profound growth that emerges from truth, learning that love, honesty, and awareness are inseparable companions on the journey toward psychological and emotional wholeness. The encounter with two souls in a single life often carries the weight of destiny, a sense that events unfold with meaningful timing beyond mere coincidence. These connections are rarely accidental. They appear at moments that align with psychological or spiritual development, orchestrating experiences that challenge, teach, or illuminate. One soul may reinforce familiar patterns, echoing lessons and attachments that have already been internalized, offering comfort and stability. The other may disrupt, provoke, or introduce hidden truths that force confrontation with the unknown aspects of self or life. The interplay of these forces creates an intricate web of experience, suggesting that the unfolding of love and attachment is guided by deeper principles that govern the psyche. Recognizing these moments as synchronistic encourages the individual to see life not only as a sequence of events, but as a meaningful journey where relationships serve as mirrors, catalysts, and teachers. Synchronicity, the meaningful coincidence of events, illuminates the profound subtlety of human experience. The arrival of the second soul, particularly one with hidden motives or secrets, is rarely random. It brings lessons tailored to the individual's inner landscape, highlighting areas of growth that may have remained dormant without such encounters. These meetings encourage introspection, inviting reflection upon unresolved patterns, projections, and unconscious dynamics that shape perception and attachment. When approached with awareness, the encounter with two souls reveals the hidden choreography of life, where external relationships mirror internal psychological processes. By embracing this perspective, the individual cultivates the ability to perceive patterns, extract meaning, and align responses with conscious insight. Recognizing that love and connection are more than emotional phenomena. They are signals of growth, self-awareness, and the unfolding of personal destiny. Destiny and synchronicity also emphasize the transformative potential of love as an instrument of self-realization. The hidden truths or secrets that accompany one soul serve as triggers for reflection, discernment, and conscious integration, while the familiar soul reinforces stability and continuity. Together they illustrate the balance between challenge and reassurance, the known and the unknown, guiding the individual toward wholeness. Recognizing the significance of these encounters fosters acceptance of life's unpredictability, patience with the unfolding of events, and trust in the meaningfulness of experience. Through this lens, love is understood not merely as an emotional exchange, but as a structured, purposeful journey where each encounter, especially those charged with secrecy, tension, or paradox, becomes an opportunity to navigate complexity, deepen understanding, and align with the larger patterns of life. In this way, destiny and synchronicity reveal love as both a teacher and a guide, shaping consciousness and illuminating the path toward inner growth and relational wisdom. The presence of two loving souls, particularly when one carries a hidden truth, can be seen as a metaphor for the journey toward psychological and emotional wholeness. Life often presents dualities, comfort and challenge, the known and the unknown, the conscious and the unconscious, and love mirrors these dualities in intimate relationships. The individual is called to navigate complexity, discern authenticity, and reconcile contradictions within both self and other. By observing how each soul influences perception, attachment, and emotional response, the beloved is offered a unique opportunity for introspection and growth. Integration begins when the lessons, insights, and challenges arising from these encounters are consciously acknowledged and reflected upon, allowing the individual to move toward a more harmonious understanding of themselves and the relational world they inhabit. Integration is a process of bringing together fragmented aspects of experience into a coherent, conscious understanding. The familiar soul offers stability and affirmation, reflecting the parts of self already known and accepted, while the soul, with the hidden truth, illuminates the shadows, the fears, the unacknowledged longings, and the subtle contradictions that remain unconscious. By engaging with both, the individual learns to hold tension, tolerate ambiguity, and discern authenticity in love. This process requires reflection, patience, and honesty, as well as the courage to confront discomfort without defensiveness. Through integration, the individual begins to synthesize the lessons of attachment, shadow, intuition, and revelation, ultimately cultivating emotional resilience, relational clarity, and a profound awareness of the self as an evolving, multidimensional being. The journey toward wholeness reveals that love is not merely an emotional or social experience, but a dynamic force for self-realization and personal evolution. Each encounter, each challenge, and each revelation serves as an invitation to integrate disparate elements of experience, transforming the hidden and the known into coherent understanding. The individual learns that authentic love requires embracing complexity, acknowledging imperfection, and engaging with the full spectrum of human emotion and consciousness. Through this integrative process, the presence of two loving souls, one with a secret, becomes more than a relational circumstance. It becomes a mirror, a guide, and a catalyst for growth. The journey toward wholeness, illuminated through these dual connections, demonstrates that the full experience of love is inseparable from the journey of self-discovery, reflection, and conscious integration, leading to psychological, emotional, and relational maturity.